with Roger Barnett. Let me pull up my notes. And he said that that the sales for September were over the top. They had, let me see, in the sales of the life plan, the strips alone sales are up 30%. That's huge. And the sale of shakes is up 33% from a year ago. And they already have over 3,000 people have registered for Orlando. I suspect it's higher now. And so they can see we're going to probably have one of the largest conferences coming up next August that we have ever had. So you want to make sure everybody is getting registered for that. That's going to be a very special event. And Roger also announced that he has been doing so much work with our international business, but he now is going to be more active in our domestic business, our North American business. Dan Rajak, who has been the acting president of North America for Canada and the United States, he is stepping aside. He has aging parents and they're in a bit of a crisis, so he is taking some time off. Roger's really filling in with that, and all of that is just wonderful for all of us. So we want to. Did you get anybody yet, Joe? Joe?
No, I'm here. Lisa's going to call in. Because she says that she's muted. I can't, Crystal, I don't know if she didn't put in her audio, the pin there yet, but she's...
Well, everyone's having a problem. And I can't see Jennifer Lee. So Stephanie, thank you for joining us this morning. We got one person got through. And tell us a bit about your month. You are a new coordinator, and you just developed, in the last week, you did a blitz to help get one of your folks back to director. And tell us a little bit about your month.
Yeah, we did do a lot of extra stuff this last few weeks. We put together some health chats, and what that consisted of was Jennifer or myself or you, Barb, or Katie speaking on these calls where we had a health topic and we opened it up to everybody to invite people to listen in and hear testimonies. And while we normally do those calls, we just upped the ante and added in a bunch of extra calls that were really helpful. And we also, Jennifer really did an amazing job with this. She is super good on a one-to-one approach, and so she did a lot of breakfasts and lunches with potential customers or members that haven't ordered in a while, and that really drove a lot of business. So getting the face-to-face interaction again was super important for her business this month, which she became a director again, so that was super exciting.
Wonderful.
She also, just picked up the phone, too, and called all of the old members that hadn't been ordering and got a lot of orders that way as well. And then, too, we also did gain a lot of distributors to our team this month. I was so excited. We had so many people join. And, they say September is a big month for business starters, and we had 4 people join our team this month, and that was just huge because it just goes to show that we're growing, and people typically like to join teams that see growth on it rather than a stagnant team. So we really was that way.
Just fabulous. And there I'm seeing welcome to everybody is coming on in. I see Crystal Hubbard, who she is a new director, just became a director in the last 6 weeks. We'll be having her coming for a chat with us soon. And Michelle, I'm not sure if she's on yet or not. Michelle Parrott is another new coordinator. So Katie Odom had 2 new first-level coordinators in her group in the month of September, and Katie advanced to senior executive coordinator. It's just a very, very exciting month. So, Crystal, are we hearing you yet?
I can't. There's the phone is there, but there's nothing to unmute her.
Joe,
I did. There, go ahead.
That happened to me, and Crystal, if you hear this, if you're hearing it, close out of everything again and then come back in. But I had to do that too.
Make sure you have other programs on your computer closed too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think she said she had been out and came back in. Now I've sent her an audio pin.
Good, I did too. So she should be
that?
coming in. Okay, well let's get started. Let's see. But Lisa, are we hearing Lisa?
No, I can't get her.
Lisa. So would she come in under her name?
No, she's under staff.
Oh, Lisa, I'm calling in and there's no answer. Oh gosh. Oh, and Stephanie said Jen couldn't get on. You know, there's something, thank you everybody for your patience this morning. There's something wrong with the webinar system this morning that so many people are having difficulty. So for those of you who are on and are hearing this audio, count yourself lucky because there's a whole bunch who cannot. Oh, goodness sake. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, I think we need to start, Joe. It's the top of the hour. We'll keep fiddling trying to get Lisa on. So, Becky, if you wouldn't mind taking Lisa's slides until we can find her. And,
you bet.
And so you want to get so let's see. Oh,
this is just I have up there now the upcoming topics for the month of October, and so we have a great sessions coming that will really help everybody to move forward and onward and upward, I think, with their business. And then the fall regionals that are coming. Did you talk about those before, Barb?
No, but it's very important to discuss.
Yeah, coming in November, these are really, truly, honestly a must. You want to, fill up your car, if you can drive to one. Otherwise, get on, Trivago or TripAdvisor, look for some good deals on flights, because I just think that that this round of fall regionals is going to be absolutely exceptional. Barb, you said Roger mentioned something on the master call yesterday
about the regionals. Yes.
Yeah.
He said that the regionals, he said, are going to be like a mini Orlando. He said he is going to be speaking on Friday night for 45 minutes. He's going to share his vision for the company and what's been happening, and then there's going to be a science segment. Both Dr. McManus and Dr. Daggy will be coming out, and then there will be personal stories all peppered throughout. So it will be those are the meetings that are just so meaningful for people to see the science and see the vision and hear the stories, and that's what's very inspiring. So I really encourage that those of you who've been to Cleveland, you know what that experience is like. Our job is just to get people there, and the conference will do the rest.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
there's Lisa.
Oh, yay.
Oh, man. Okay, so now all we need is Crystal.
Yep. This has been a wild morning of the audio stuff. Goodness,
We're used to it.
I know.
Okay.
If it takes me an hour, I'm going to be sitting here trying to talk to you guys.
Exactly.
Give up.
Perfect timing. Get us started, and I'm going to keep working at trying to get Crystal unmuted. Having a hurricane coming up the East Coast is probably not helping this at all.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, Lisa, then get us started for this morning, and I'll keep an eye over here on Crystal.
Okay. Well, it is going to be a great day, and we're really happy you're all here. So welcome this morning to session number 6. It's our 100 Days to Amazing Fall Business Training, and we are going to talk about creating a 2,000 PV plan. And I'm exceptionally excited about what Crystal has to bring. So we got to figure out how to get her on here. Here we go.
Becky,
and you might
on your phone.
Me?
Yeah, Becky.
Oh, Becky.
Or Lisa. Who's on their phone?
I'm not on my phone.
I'm on a phone.
It wouldn't
work.
work.
You could maybe three-way Crystal in.
Oh, good idea. Good idea. All right. I'll be right back then.
I am quickly unmuting Katie Odom because we may have her with us. Katie? Maybe
Hi.
not. Katie. Oh, Katie.
Hi.
You are.
I'm going to be I'm mostly a listener today. I'm packing up the car because I am driving down to North Carolina by myself, partially by myself, meeting my husband sort of halfway, and speaking in Chapel Hill this weekend on Saturday, which I'm very excited to meet and see many of you there.
Yeah, there's going to be a great meeting in Chapel Hill with Steve Cheney and Dr. Jamie, I believe, is coming to that too, and Katie Odom, who is a new senior executive coordinator. Yay for you, Katie.
Are you there?
Katie, yes.
I
okay.
am here. I think Crystal's here.
Yay.
Crystal? I don't
yes,
hear her.
I'm here.
She's here.
Oh, yay. Well done. Thank you, Becky, the rescuer. So, Katie, we will mute you as you're packing, but so you're not going to be able to share with us this morning because she is about to climb in the car.
Well, very exciting stuff.
Okay, thanks, Katie. Okay.
Okay, so our objectives?
Oh.
Did I talk about those?
No,
Yes.
do. Go.
Yes, I'm going. Our objectives for today, we want to review some strategies for October. We definitely want to help remind you to keep your eye on the chairman's retreat, not just treat, but retreat. So we're going to talk about some things that we can do to increase our volume. We're going to give you some great plans, some great fall strategies. I'm exceptionally excited about Crystal Johnson sharing her idea of a 6-minute business presentation. My mind is just going crazy with all the different ways you can kind of share that concept. But then, of course, we're right at the halfway mark of the 100 Days to Amazing, and there's a lot of time in 50 days. So we're just excited to be here with you guys and to stay focused and to be excited and to work hard. So there we go.
Well, we've got some, to add on to that, Lisa, we've got some great strategies that we're going to talk about today. And as you mentioned, the Chairman's Retreat, by now you've either attended the Cleveland Conference or registered for Orlando. That was one of the criteria. And then also, if you have become a director by September, that is another criteria. And then the next criteria is the PV part. And it is 10,000 personal PV over what you did in, was it February through?
Yeah, June, I think.
Through July. If you're not sure what your number is, ask your upline, and they can help you do the math to figure out what your 10,000 plus needs to be, and then that is figured from August to December. But Shaklee is so generous, and they're going to count the PV of any new directors you have. So that's such a neat thing. We've never had this kind of qualification before, so it's really wonderful. But in order to do that, we need a plan. And in creating 2,000 additional PV for 5 months, one way is to develop a new director that continues to get 2,000 each month. Another one is 2 associates, 1,000 each. That would give you 2,000 PV a month. And let's say you haven't done it yet for August or September. Okay, go ahead and get several associates this month. You know, you can do that. It is the cumulative over that time period. So don't be discouraged, even if maybe August and September wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be in your business. You can also do 1,000 PV with current customers or new customers, and we're going to tell you some ideas about that. But I love with Barb looking at this, and we're going to break down the math again later today too. I'm not a math wizard by any means, and so it is exciting for me to be able to see, oh, okay, this is how this can add up quickly. So if we want to go to the next slide, Joe, the PV generating ideas that we have, there's going to be an attachment to this webinar, and I had just sent out yesterday 13 different ways, and of course it's only limited to your imagination, of just different events or things you could do to generate PV. And so look for those in the attachment. And the biggest thing to remember is that every single thing you're doing, whether it's an event, whether it's a health story call, whether it's an appointment, it is just a reason for you to contact somebody. All we want is an excuse to call them. And, you know, it so really is. You know, don't count anybody out that doesn't attend. All of us on this call, I know, have had umpteen events where no one showed, but you can still get PV out of that by following up. And I think I've shared this with you all before, that I was one of those people that probably wouldn't have necessarily attended an event, especially when my kids were little. And so I appreciated that my upline Tammy met with me individually, and then I did eventually go to one of her events, but that wasn't really my thing. And so just remember, there could be people like me. And just because of people, again, people don't come, you can still meet with them individually. It just takes a little bit more patience. And we, as your leaders, we definitely want to encourage events because they're super time efficient, but don't discount the value of appointments. And one thing that I talk to my group about is health is really personal. And sometimes when you have a smaller group of people, sometimes actually more gets accomplished in a shorter amount of time because you can address their needs very specifically. And sometimes people don't want to share that in front of 10 people they don't know. And so so don't discount smaller groups. That is totally fine too. But here we go with Crystal.
Becky, I just want to add quickly on this PV generating ideas. I think it's just a matter of picking out, one or two or three things that you can do that you feel comfortable doing, and then do them. And you can't do one or two things a month and expect to reach your goals. You're going to have to be, in front of 3 to 5 people a week in some way, shape, or form. So thank you for
totally
doing
true.
those.
And so, well, let me set this up just a little bit because Crystal Johnson, about 6 weeks ago, Crystal, she and her downline, Betsy Lehrman, have really built their businesses on being part of community networking of small businesses. And next week, we are going to be talking about prospecting in the community, and we're going to be featuring some of the things that they do. But we want to bring Crystal in this week because she came up with this idea when she was presenting to one of the groups that she belongs to. It was so effective, we wanted her to bring it to the rest of us so we can see what she did, what she said, and what the results she got. So thanks for joining us, Crystal.
Yes, it has been rough trying to join you, and I figured that out.
I feel your pain.
Oh my God, I'm all sweaty from trying to dial the phone.
This is how I feel. I've worked out already.
It still won't let me in. It still keeps telling me, no, sorry, that line is unavailable. So it's unavailable to me. Thank you, Becky.
We're going to have a chat with the webinar people at the end of this session. So
they're telling us.
So, let me take a deep breath and Barb set this up for you, but I joined my local Chamber of Commerce about 3 years ago and kind of wasn't sure about that $250 a year price, but thought I'd give it a go. And actually, I was not sure I was going to renew after the first year, and glad that I did because it really took me about 10 months to build the relationships in that particular group, but then has helped me to grow my business. So they have weekly power networking lunches, and I didn't attend those initially, and I only attended the monthly events, which was part of the reason why I wasn't building relationships, seeing people once a month instead of once a week. So going to the weekly lunches, which cost an additional $15 for that lunch, but I started going to those, and that's when my business really started to grow. And actually, for the last 9 months, I've been the manager of those lunches for the chamber, which means I'm the person up in front of the room holding the timer for everybody, and setting the stage and giving them the example of, okay, here's what a 30-second looks like. I'll do mine, and let me, try to make sure you stay within your time limit. So we have 30 seconds to do a business commercial. We go around the room. At any given lunch, we have about 40 business owners or people representing a business there. They're typically small businesses. And then we allow a 6-minute business spotlight every once in a while, and that's based on location because we move around to different restaurants in the county, and some of them are just not conducive to, a 6-minute presentation because they're kind of noisy. So to do that, you have to agree to give away a $50 raffle prize for the privilege of that 6 minutes. And I did my 6-minute presentation on September 1st. I used this PowerPoint that we all have available to us out there on the business, the new one, but I had to take that one that we've heard just recently. We've heard Katie help with that, and some others. Lisa's done it. It's a 30-minute presentation. I had to boil it down to 6. So I chose the slides that I wanted to make it work. And for that lunch, just to set the stage, I used the PowerPoint. I did use a laser pointer. I had 2 pull-up banners placed in the room and put my business cards on the tables, and some symptom assessment forms were scattered around. And I raffled off a Vita-Lee with iron, a small B complex, and a stress relief complex to try to cover the various product lines that would appeal to business owners in the room. And there were 39 people at that lunch on the 1st. So I'll just do my presentation like I did it for them. So usually in my 30-second commercial for you guys, I talk about the Shaklee product that will help you to enjoy your life more by building your health, giving you more energy or less stress, or maybe removing toxins from your home. But today I have 6 minutes, so I'm going to share with you about the other half of my business, which is where I spend more of my time now, the Shaklee business. This slide, be a part of the effect. Oh, go back. So this slide, be part of the effect, is one of Shaklee's taglines, but what does it really mean? Well, I'm going to tell you what it really means to me and how the Shaklee business has affected my life. Next. So this is a picture of my family, and it lists all of the health improvements that we've had over the last 8 years since we started using Shaklee products. We've had some pretty common ailments like allergies and thyroid issues, and some less common ones like adrenal fatigue, anemia, eczema, chronic bronchitis, and they're all gone. I threw out a bunch of medicines. Now our lives are so improved, we have more active, healthy time, and that's our Shaklee Effect health story. But what is the Shaklee Effect? Shaklee helps people transform their lives. Oops, go back because I'm reading that slide. I just read that slide straight to them. Shaklee helps people transform their lives by taking small, simple steps that lead to big results. By making better products that are worth sharing, we create a healthier planet and a brighter future for all. Little by little, one by one, we change the world. Next. So this slide really does speak to the Shaklee business and my Shaklee business. We have extra money. This money that we have, we'll be paying off our house this month. Wow. I drive my Shaklee car, which is an all-electric Leaf, and I love it. I got to choose my car. I've taken my husband on 2 Shaklee trips to San Francisco, to the Mayan Riviera, all expenses paid and 5-star. That's the way Shaklee does it. So we have a rewarding lifestyle that we could only imagine before Shaklee. Next. So this slide actually is depicting how Shaklee is positioned in 6 high-growth industries. The healthy foundations up here in the upper left, everyone's talking about health these days and wanting to be healthy with by taking basic multivitamins. Most doctors recommend that. Down here, Healthy Solutions. These are the more specific products to address things like joint health, heart health, cholesterol. Healthy Weight, self-explanatory, huge industry, we all know, especially in January. Healthy Beauty, this is interesting because, Shaklee has always put the same quality vitamins that they put in their supplements into their skincare products, and now everyone else is calling that anti-aging product. Healthy Home, these products are good for you, the environment, they're inexpensive, they work, and they're how I got started in the Shaklee business because, as some of you know, I work quite a bit in the community with recycling events and environmental issues. And there's actually a sixth one that you don't see here on this slide, and that is network marketing. A recent article in Fortune magazine speaks to network marketing as a smart retirement plan. Think about it. Shaklee is my retirement plan. I'm not relying on a bank account that has a chunk of cash in it that I'm going to keep drawing down from and depleting every month. My retirement is my Shaklee business with cash flowing in every month that'll take me through retirement and that my children can inherit from me. Next. So the Shaklee difference. What is the Shaklee difference? There's a lot on this slide. What you've heard me say most often in my 30 seconds is this one here, the 121 medals, gold, silver, bronze, that Olympic medalists have won by being Shaklee-powered athletes. I figured, if these products are good enough for Olympic athletes, then they're probably good enough for me. And they need products that they know work and don't have to waste any of their time because they trust the product that they use and they trust the company that they buy from. They can't, as an Olympic athlete, you just can't afford to risk taking products that might test you positive for something that would kick you out of your sport that you love or the possibility for the Olympics. So they're all about improved performance and not wasting time, and guess what? Me too. I mean, who doesn't need better performance and more usable time, right? So there's other big numbers on this page here too, like this one that published in 125 scientific papers and the 100,000 quality tests a year spot here. These are very significant in the health industry and maybe most interesting to the other health professionals in the room. Right, Dr. Glenn? Next. So Shaklee has a true money-back guarantee. They've been around for 60 years without a recall on their products. And this slide's all about trust. Trusting where you get your products from and the company behind them. Next. I put this slide in here because it is a picture of a better life, and Shaklee is, and it's flexible, it's rewarding, and this is often what it looks like when we business leaders get together or when I'm doing a meeting or a small event, and it's much better than working for somebody else where I came from, or maybe where you are. Next. So my story does involve a bigger team. And this picture is a picture of some of us in our larger group, those of us who attended our global conference in Cleveland in August. Much like we are a community here in the room, Shaklee is a business of community and teamwork. And all of the people here, and you may recognize some of them from our chamber, are focusing on helping people to feel better, get better, so they can do better. Next. 3 ways to join Shaklee. So yes, there are 3 different Shaklee effects shown here. You can use the products and experience the way they can help transform your health and your life. You can share the products with a few people to earn some extra cash or to help pay for your product or for some little extra spending money. Or you can build a business like I'm doing to bring in additional income, pay for family vacations, pay off your house, set yourself up for a fun retirement. So you can make real money and do the things that you want to do. Next. So how do you see yourself fitting in? Or maybe what I should ask is, do you see yourself fitting in? Next. And what will your Shaklee effect be? Whatever you want it to be, I'm here to help you figure it out. Come talk to me. That's it. Over.
Crystal, that was wonderful.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
In my mind, I'm thinking to do that in 6 minutes, you're going to have to talk like a chipmunk. That's what I would have done. I would have just gone running for the races. You did it so beautifully. It was so controlled and understandable. It was very nice.
Well, it was very appealing too, because I found myself thinking, well, yeah. I'd like to be part of this.
I like the way I like the way Crystal folded her personal stories
Yes.
in around, it's a really nice presentation because it
Mm-hmm.
leaves room for you to talk about the things that are important to you. And she did.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And even just, she got in about her commitment to environmental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really, there's a lot of stories around it. So, I mean, she had 6 minutes when she did it, but when you're talking to somebody, can you see how each of those points you can talk about, why that was important to you or people in your group. So, Crystal, tell us then, what was the result of all this? Love that you used the symptom assessment forms. What a great idea that was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was trying to figure out a way to have further conversation with people. So I didn't give everybody a symptom assessment form at their seat on purpose so that so I could see if people were going to fight over them or not. They didn't. But
good idea.
It was an idea in my head that they're all going to be fighting over this form. Okay, I did count them ahead of time so that I knew how many I put on the tables, and 14 of them went missing. And I did take time right after my presentation. I did say, okay, so I just want to draw your attention to what is on your table. And I explained for just a minute what the symptom assessment form can do for them and why they would take 5 minutes to check it off. And I said, take a picture of it with your phone and send it back to me, and then I can help you from there. The instructions are on the back. I always print on the back of everything because it's kind of the environmental thing to do, but it's also why you leave white space. So I print instructions on the back with my picture again. And then, much to my surprise, when I was done, saying that, I had one after the next, 3 people give me testimonials for the product. And one person, it kind of seemed like I planted her in the room because she was, she hasn't shown up to a lunch in a long time, and she just happened to be there. And she was the first one to stand up and say, well, I just want to say that these Shaklee products are really good because she's a bank vice president. She's just taking the Vitalizer, and it has helped her cholesterol to go down, and she can't take the cholesterol medications because she gets leg cramps and pains from them. So she gave me that plug, and then the technology company owner whose equipment I was using jumped right in with, oh yeah, and I don't drink a pot of coffee anymore. I love that stress relief complex and the B complex, and I've even got my wife taking it now. And then the funniest thing is there's a woman there that owns a Better Moonwalks bouncy house business, and she's actually a distributor under someone else, but she doesn't promote it much. And she was quick to jump in there with the no play on words there with the jump in there. But the fact that she only uses the Shaklee cleaners on all of her stuff so that the kids don't get chemicals all over them when they're bouncing around in her equipment.
Nice.
So,
wow.
So then after those 3 people jumped in with their testimonials, and then I raffled off the prizes, but I backed up my presentation to that slide that has the 5 different colored leaves on it for the industries. And then as I was raffling off, we put everybody's business card in, and I used a little Shaklee bag to put everybody's business card in, and drew out 3 names to see who won the product, and I let them choose. And actually I had 5 names to draw because the chamber was raffling off 2 $25 gift cards to Starbucks at the same time. So I said, okay, guys, here's what we have. I've got 3 of my products, and then I have these 2 gift cards from the chamber, so you can kind of think of it as health and anti-health. I'll let you choose. And they all chose my products were chosen first. They kind of did feel the pressure a little, but as I was handing them out to to them, I explained what each one was, and I pointed with the pointer up there to say, okay, this is the Vital-E, this is your basic multivitamin, but it's not so basic. And as I was walking over to hand it to them, I would take that time to say a few things about the product. And I did a B-complex and the stress relief. I'm taking my banners down after all that and closing up my papers, and then a woman who's relatively new to the chamber walked right up to me and said, okay, so how do I join your team?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I said, well, and she was holding that symptom assessment, and I said, well, we can talk about that if you want to get together. And then she shows me that health assessment form, and she says, no, because this is just about the products, and we can talk about that, but I really want to talk about the business. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can do that too.
It shows
So
that
it was like totally interesting. Meanwhile, while I was talking to her, there was another woman standing behind her waiting to talk to me. And when I talked with her, she said, so can I do this business part-time while I'm working full-time for the carpet cleaners? And I said, well, definitely. That's how a lot of people start out. So I had that talk with her. So long story short, I did sign up Allison with the $649 gold kit a couple weeks after that. And I am still in conversation with the other woman because it's a little more complicated. She has a complicated family situation. But I've also had a couple of other people from the chamber lunch, at the chamber lunch since then, approach me with questions about their health. One man's talking to me about his prostate. Now, who does that at a networking lunch?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. So,
Not me.
It has opened some doors for me to put the business out there in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really
And quite effectively. Yeah.
Yeah, and that presentation could be done on a one-on-one in a group event.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, and I have used it since then. I printed it out, and I have used it probably 5 more times in a one-on-one situation with people as well. And so it is generating interest in me as a business owner versus, gee, she has products to sell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And what I love about that, Crystal, is as you do build your team by sharing this presentation, there's not a lot of intimidation in it. And so people will join your team and think, okay, I can share now. I'm going to build a business and I'm going to do what Crystal does. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to put together a nice, comfortable 6-minute presentation and I'm going to share that. So it's duplicatable too,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a key factor.
Yeah.
Good job. Wow, that was really
Practice.
good.
Thank you, Crystal. So glad we got to hear your voice.
Thank you for the physical effort you put into joining us today.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for having me.
Well, and I will tell you, the very first question I had when I knew that you were going to do this concept, I'm thinking, why on the earth 6 minutes? What is it about 6 minutes? So you totally answered that question too. But I think, when we're thinking about sharing that, it's sometimes when we want to open the idea of Shaklee to people, even saying, you know what, I just have this 6-minute presentation that'll give you a nice picture of what it is that I do. I think people are going to be much more, in some situations, open to hearing something for 6 minutes. I like the idea of even being able to set up an appointment with the concept, So very good. Okay, so now we're going to move into creating the 2000 PV plan. We talked about the reasons at the beginning of today why we want to do this. And I will always say what Becky said last week is, and who doesn't want more PV? Everybody wants more PV. So once we've got some people identified that want to build or we want to create, we're going to go ahead and put that plan on paper. So I love this. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And I always tell people we're going to move this from a wishing, hoping business to a planning strategy business to an action, making it happen business. And that's really what we're talking about now. So, okay, so let's break it down. We're going to give you some great ideas. This particular 2000 PV plan that I'm going to paint over the next few slides is really cool because Barbara and I were talking about this. It's very conservative. It really is, and it shows a variety of great activity that a person could do in a month and to really create some fantastic interaction and members and volume. So the first thing to look at is your personal use. Of course, you're going to use these amazing products. 1 to 200. I can't remember I don't know if I ever used just 200. I think we jumped right in with about 500. But this is the beginning of your 2,000 PV plan. And when you're working with a distributor, it is for them as well. And then their family, reaching out to the people that are closest to them and teaching them and sharing with them about the products that you love that are working for you. Another 200 PV. 3-way customer calls. So this is someone that you've introduced Shaklee to, you've talked to them about it, and now you're going to get them on a 3-way call with someone else, and you're going to explore more. I always use the verbiage, let's get on the call with so-and-so, and let's just bounce around ideas together, because I always think three brains are better than one, and between the 3 of us, I think we'll really create some good ideas for you, either business or health. So 3-way calls. Next. So if you did 2 of those, about 100 PV. So you're seeing our estimation, right? In-home events, 250 PV I think is very conservative here, depending on the attendance and all that. It could certainly go higher, but you have lots of options for in-homes. And so you've got that's something that you can factor into your plan. Identifying business partners. The minimum there of someone who upgrades or becomes a gold ambassador is 250 PV, and that's going to go anywhere up to 500 to 750. Something I want to mention here, as you're looking at this wonderful array of different activities that a person can do to generate PV, you're going to find that all of these conversations will kind of then move these people into other categories as well. Someone might come to a 3-way call and now want to talk about the business. Someone might, join a webinar and now want to look at this and look at that. So what you do is you get your list of people, you get your list of activities, and you're going to find that there's a fluid motion between people and activities, and some people will do multiple activities and so forth and so on. So that identifying business partner many times will come from another conversation or another activity, or vice versa. You'll have someone become a business partner and then attend an event. So developing customers and our new members. So now you kind of look at our tally, right, of our PV, and then of course we've got this really creative and rather amazing social media aspect where you can really open the door and get some curiosity and some thoughts and ideas going with Facebook events or this post a week where you do, and I love some of the ideas down here. I was talking with a leader last night about Facebook. Why does Facebook work? Why is it effective? And I said it's a combination of having a picture that's engaging, that's cute, that's clever, that draws them in, with a caption that really creates what they're saying. It is I think it's an aesthetics thing. I really do. So you see these adorable pictures of these people's kids with a Get Clean spray bottle, or a nice little filthy stained t-shirt before and after. Those tell a story. The picture itself is the post. It tells the story. The caption gives a few details. And so I'm saying this because I'm not creative, and so I study you creative people out there on social media, and I see why it's working, and I'm using everything you have. Just so you know, thank you for being so smart. But this one post a week thing is a good idea. These before and after pictures of your pots and your pans and the floor. I will never forget when Barb, I can't remember who this was. It was one of your cute little gals, and she said, I know you're staring at my adorable baby, but look at how beautiful.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Clever, beautiful picture, 30 seconds, people got it. She's got an adorable baby, but her floors were shining. Very effective marketing. So don't ever miss out on some of that good stuff. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, so there's our...
Let me mention also, as people see how we're telling this idea came from Katie, and she actually made 2 little mini videos to show people how this is created. And you would never use, one person wouldn't do 75 things, but can you see these are all the actual reach out ideas and strategy ideas that the people who are growing their businesses are using today. And they're very, very effective. And when Lisa said we have understated this, we have really understated. You see it when she was talking about Facebook events. She said, we recommend you post maybe at least once a week. Well, yeah, I'm thinking of Michelle Parrott, who is a new coordinator. She's on this morning. Stephanie Bruce, a new coordinator. She's on this morning. They do these clever posts that Lisa's talking about, and they generate so much interest from that. But then what both of them will tell you is then, and they learned this from their upline and from Harper, is that then they take it offline, and they've learned how to take the conversation off of Facebook and onto the telephone. And that's a wonderful skill. And then, so these are so understated. You could build 1,000 PV on any one of these.
Because what you're doing is you're engaging and you're opening the conversation with interest to them through how you're sharing on Facebook. And that this whole thing reminds me of a great statement that I read in the Eric Worre book called Go Pro. And he said, our job, and I think we had a slide about this a few weeks ago, he said our job is to bring understanding and education about what we're offering. But he says when you start the process, you move them from exposure to exposure. And so this paints a beautiful picture of the types of exposure. And Facebook could be the initial exposure, or it could be a follow-up, or kind of an affirmation to a decision that someone's decided to use a cleaning product. So whatever. It really is a full array of different exposures. And so it's not like a one-stop thing. We want to plug people into lots of different things that are going to help them see what we are and who we are and what we offer. So now, okay, anything else on Facebook?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think those weekly postings are really vital to getting a good turnout for a Facebook event. Because it creates curiosity. The postings are tantalizing. People are going, well, what's going on here? I wonder what this is all about. And then when you host a Facebook event, people are more likely to check in on it.
Yeah. You almost create a little bit of entertainment or engagement there, and kind of you just get a little. I think the ones that I like the most, I see people being clever, just really clever, and there's a source of entertainment there, but you're creating just a sense of fun and culture within your Shaklee business by doing that, and people are attracted to it. So very cool. Alrighty, good point. So Health Stories conference calls. This is something we recently launched in our team. I just kept talking about it, and finally we're just going to do it. My favorite thing about this is that it has like next to no prep time. I love that idea. You don't have to create slides. You just get a few great testimonials based around a certain topic, and you get that conference call. You have people invite. It's 30 minutes, but there is a really nice atmosphere of sharing and affirming. And again, I think there's an attraction there for people to want to join someone's business team just because of the atmosphere of team on these conference calls. So there's, again, another idea, but boy, you can see some of the creative ideas flying around Facebook of how people are setting up topics and themes for these conference calls. And then, of course, our wellness webinars. And in addition to that, I'll make sure, the Power of the Profession series that Barb and Joe do such a beautiful job with. These are great things to invite people to come to send links to, if it's an archive. The education that someone can get by going through some of these wellness webinars are just tremendous, and that's, I think, the power we have in really making changes in people's lives is bringing them knowledge. So you have a few people that join some events and get a really good baseline of understanding. You've got a good consumer that will not only probably order every month, but will bring you referrals and possibly join your business at some time. So
Lisa, one thing about this too, you just listed off 10 things, and I think half of them, a brand new person could come in and do half of those things because they're utilizing somebody else. The health story call, all they have to do is invite somebody.
That's right.
And then we can even help them, know how to follow up. But I mean, it is really easy for even a brand new person that started yesterday to jump in on this.
Yeah, you're so right, because what you're doing is you're reaching out, you're contacting someone, you're asking permission to share, and you're bringing them in to the information flow, I think is a Dan Henderson term, and it's quality stuff. So that is a very good point, Becky. It's wonderful for people to know anyone can reach out and to share Shaklee at a good level. So excellent. All right, so we're going to put it all together, and we're going to see, you're going to select 2 or 3 reach out methods. A lot of times when I meet with a brand new person, I say, okay, close your eyes, and I just want you to imagine sharing all of the goodness of Shaklee with someone. How does that look? Sometimes that'll help them feel, are they leaning towards an in-home or one-on-ones, and then you're going to make some names, people that you want to share your team. I always tell, share the idea of joining your team. You know, we did a series of calls with one of our new directors yesterday, and we called a bunch of people on a list and said, hey, I'm working with so-and-so, and she has just become a director, and we are putting her team together, and we thought of you because she says that you are so fun. Something like that. So anyways, I digress. But put together your list of people that you want to share the products and the business with, and then, you know, you've got some grand openings that are really fun and kind of a neat way to intrigue people. What am I doing? I'm starting this new thing. It's so exciting. We have a new gal on. I just saw her name this morning. She just launched her business this week. She's got a grand opening, and she's going to tell her friends, I'm doing something so crazy and so fun and so scary because I can't find the job that I want. And so until I find that right job, I'm going to do my own thing. And it's just kind of fun. It's got a lot of energy to it. So grand openings, grand opening Facebook events, just introducing things so you can calculate some numbers here. And it's just a great way to put your plan together and get this thing rolling. So anything else on that? Anybody wants to jump in?
I think we want to just add that when you can, if you're doing this in person with somebody, you take a blank sheet of paper, you know, and you're drawing this out and showing them, you know, where the volume will come from. If you're doing it over the phone, make sure that they have a piece of paper and a pen in their hand, and they're, you know, drawing it out on paper for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's important because it brings some clarity to the plan. And I tell people, when you have clarity to the plan, you have more belief in the plan. And you need to believe in your plan because then you're going to step out every day and start to do it. So good point, Joe. Very good. All right, Becky.
Yes, we are going to give you some ideas of what you could talk to people about. And spring and fall are always wonderful times to talk to people about allergies. And you can tell who needs it. It's the people that have Kleenexes in their hand or at their desk or, you know, whatever. Those poor people look miserable. So we've got an allergy suggestion here. A core program would be our Vitalizer, our Nutrifuron, the alfalfa, and our Get Cleaning product, Get Clean, because that's going to help get all the toxins out that those other cleaners are probably irritating their system. And then there's some additional products there that are great too, depending on their symptoms. So when you're looking at these products, we can put those in 1,000 PV collections. And you can go ahead and click, Joe. You know, if you have 4 events in a month with 5 people attending each event, that's 20 families that you're impacting. If each of those families bought 50 PV, that's 1,000 PV. If 10 families bought 100, that's 1,000. And those can be a variety of ways. You see those ways listed at the top. There's lots of ways we can communicate with people, and Lisa just did a wonderful job of describing all those ways. And we have so many deals right now, and I hope that you have taken advantage of some of these slides. I printed off some of the slides from a few weeks back, like this one with the free memberships, just so that we have that in front of us, and we can say, oh, you were interested in, you know, getting 6 cleaners. Well, if you get the Get Clean kit, then you'll be able to, you know, get a free membership. And just a little note on that, that is one that doesn't show up automatically on your member center when you're sponsoring someone, but if you put that in a new member's order, when you get to checkout, it will take off the charge of the $19.95, or you could click one of the free ones. And anyway, it's there. It is there, but it's not as clear as some of the other ones are. So just remember that. We've got shipping deals, and these go till November 20th. Anybody that puts any of these plans on their cart, and it does need to be an auto ship, set up as an auto ship, but when they put that in their cart, they can add anything else to the order and get up to $20 of free shipping. So the tip at the bottom is such a good one because our products are shipped by weight, which aren't we so thankful that our products our shipping is priced by weight, because have you ever ordered something that weighs nothing and it was like, you know, $25 to ship it or something? It's crazy. So I always tell people I'm so appreciative that our shipping is done by weight, but this is a perfect opportunity for them to get some of those heavier things and put it on their order.
Not for business leaders.
Right.
Right. Yes, you're exactly right. Yep. Thank you for saying that, Joe. So then we also have free shipping and free membership. So again, if anybody puts any of these on in their cart and they aren't already a member, they can get a free member and get free shipping. So again, you can tag on those cleaners or anything heavier, and that will be a great savings for them. And I mean, think about that for some people. You can see when you are adding things in the cart what your, on an auto ship in particular, what your shipping is estimated as. And just a little technical note, when you're doing this on someone's auto ship, it's going to still have the shipping listed, but when the auto ship processes, that's when you see that the shipping was free. So don't freak out if you still see a shipping charge when it's just sitting there. But you can kind of see as you're adding things to the cart what your shipping is getting to. And I have some customers that are like, put as much on there until I get free shipping. So we'll just keep adding things to the cart until it gets to the $20, and then we know that it's going to be free. So those are just some little tips that that you can use. The next set of deals is these $10 deals. So the first one is if you, deal number one, if you order any of those things under deal number one, you're going to get any product that we have that's $100 or less for just $10. And that is a huge savings. That could be a Vivix. That could be Vivix liquid gels. It could be a vitalizer. Of course, I always encourage people to buy the most expensive thing they can to get that for $10. And I think someone said you can, most of the starter kits do not work on this, but someone said you can get, I thought the Get Clean Water. Am I right on that? One of those starter kits?
I have heard that, yeah, the Get Clean Water counts. Yeah.
So I think it's that one that's water for a year. So that's a really nice one, especially if someone's like, well, I'm not sure what I would use it for, and maybe they haven't tried the Get Clean Water product yet, so that's a wonderful one to use. And then deal number two, if you order either of those product packages, then you can get any of the LifeShake flavors for just $10. So again, it's really, really nice. And these deals do apply to business leaders. So if you're a director or above, you can get these $10 things. They'll show up, they have to be on auto ship, and they'll show up as soon as your auto ship goes through, you'll see a coupon in there, and there is, I think, 2 or 3 months expiration that you have to use it within that time, but it's super great for that.
You could use those for giveaways or door prizes.
Yes.
Incentives.
What a great idea. Perfect. So when we're looking at things that are really going to strengthen the immune system, because that's really, when we're talking about allergies, that's what's happening, is they just have a weakened immune system. Plus, this is a time for colds and flus. And so we want to be able to offer to people what we have. And so you can see here some simple packages for adults. This first one adds up to about 61 PV. Then there's some additional things at the bottom for an adult that they could certainly add on. And then for children, this was our program for years with our little ones through probably junior high and high school. We started adding a few more things in high school, but that kept them well for a long time. So that really simple program at the top, about 52 PV, and then there's some other things at the bottom that you can add on. So what we're trying to show you here is 50 PV collections and 100 PV collections, so that making the math easy. And I always tell my leaders, no order is too small. Don't be frustrated if, you're kind of hoping to get, 2 100 PV orders and all they did was 75. Oh my gosh, that's great. No order is too small. Even if it's just 20 PV, I'm like, that's great. I always feel like something is better than nothing. And if someone says, I really, really can't afford it, and it's like, okay, let's look at this. Could you do the Incredivites? Do you think that would work? And a lot of times if it's just one single product, people can afford it. And we know that is a wonderful thing for them to give their children. And so everything, no order is too small. It's all really good for somebody. So when you're looking at just having a conversation with someone, you might be thinking, how do I bring that up? Like I said, you can always look for the Kleenex people, but you can talk about just with the weather, as you're on the phone, it's getting cold out. I just wanted to make sure you knew about a few things that we have to help prevent allergies, or if you had any colds or flus in your, sphere of influence. So here's what I have. I wanted to tell you about this in case you might have some interest in it, or you might know somebody. And so then the next one is, tell me about allergies and what is that for your family? And Shaklee's got a couple of collections, one for adults, one for kids. Would either of these be something you might be interested in? And you'd be amazed when people are suffering, like with colds or allergies, they are more open to what you have to say because obviously what they're doing is not working. And so it's good for us to have just some of these conversations, some of these words in our head so that we're ready when we meet somebody. So you can go to the next slide, Joe.
Or we can call our members.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. It's a perfect reason to call. It's all that thing about it. It's just our excuse to contact people. So I love this kind of this closing. If you have family members who don't eat 6 vegetables a day, which I'm sure most Americans do not eat 6 vegetables a day, so this might be really good for you to be able to boost your nutritional bases. And I love this. This is about, really just strengthening that immune system. We've got the Optiflora, we've got the vitamin C, and then the Nutrifuron, and let me tell you about that. So this is a really good starting place. How does that sound to you? And I love using the words, could I recommend, or just something where you are helping guide them, because after a while, actually very soon into your business, so even if you've only had your business like 2 months, all this information seems a little bit more routine to you because you're doing it every day. But we just have to back up and remember that these people have never maybe heard of Shaklee before. They don't know how to navigate. They don't know what would be the first one to choose if they had to pick 3. And so it's really good for us to look at our job like a coach and as an advocate. And, of course, they have to guide us as far as budgetary kinds of things, but we can help them know what would be a great, solid program to start with. And here's a perfect little family immunity collection with vitamin C. We've got the Vital E, the Optiflora, Nutrifuron, and Defend and Resist. And that adds up to a nice 100 PV package, which is really great. And then we've got some allergy prevention free 50 PV packages. If someone did the Nutrifuron, alfalfa, and chewable C, that's 60. You could get the Get Clean Starter Kit for 50. And remember the Vitalizer, if someone orders the Vitalizer or the Get Clean Starter Kit or any of those other 13 ways, they can get a free membership. So lots of variety, lots of ways we can help people in this season.
Very good.
Well done, Vicki.
Very good. And see, it's gotten so allergies are pretty much year-round now. People get colds all year round, and so we have such strong products for that. So there, the idea, you can see how we mix and matched those products, and so part of our job of being an advocate for people is know when they're on a budget, what are you going to recommend? Alfalfa is cheap. Garlic is cheap, and they work. Our multivitamin is very economical. Vital E, large bottles, $40 at member price. It's a 4-month supply. That's $10 a month. It's very inexpensive. And so know that. But the best thing for them is Vitalizer. And the reason is that our immune systems are so connected to the health of our gut. They're so connected to the diet, digestion, to the foods that we eat, and to the nutrients that they've got, that the immune system has to have, that when you get someone a Vitalizer, you are helping deal with about 16 different systems in their bodies that are probably not functioning well, some of which they're telling you about and some of which they're not, right? And so you know you're going to help their immune system. You know you're going to help their digestive system. You're probably going to help their brain and their nervous system, probably their hormonal balance and so on. And when you know a couple of statistics, like 1 out of every 10 Americans is on an antidepressant, then chances are real high the person that you're talking to could be one of them or know somebody. And so you tuck those things in. So that's why going back to Vitalizer and that Life Shake is such a great starting place. But when you break it down like this, you can see how you can get your 50 and 100 PV collections. Thanks. Nice job on that, Becky. Okay, action steps, Lisa.
All right, so begin setting up your appointments to share that 6-minute business presentation. And again, you can utilize the same slides that Crystal has, create it your own. Go back and listen to this archive so you can get really competent and comfortable at doing that. I think that is going to really empower a lot of people to bring people onto their team. And then you're going to set up appointments with your distributors to help them create their 2,000 PV plan and help them get excited about it and believe that they can do it. And again, go back to Joe's point, get it written out on paper because that just helps them say, yes, I can do it, and then they'll commit to it. And then start promoting all these directors out all over the place, and it's very exciting. So. Right?
I love it.
Who doesn't want a director? I'm going to throw that into Becky. Who doesn't want people
all over the place?
I
know. There was a question I saw came in regarding the health stories that, Stephanie talked about on the pre-call. That was one of the strategies that she and Jennifer Lee used to get her to director. They needed a push at the end of the month, I think.
Well, I don't know if anyone else can hear me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am here. And I think we lost Barb, but it was a great day. And everybody go have a great week. Oh, look, someone can hear me. Hi, Robin. Thank you. I think we'll call it a day. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a wonderful webinar, and we think you're all great, and we would love to hear some of the awesome things that you're doing with these great ideas. Thank you to Crystal. Wonderful, wonderful comments, and kudos, Crystal, to what you have done. So, again, you have blessed all of us today with a wonderful concept and a great presentation. So, okay, everybody have a great day.